Employer's liability and workers' compensation. What's the difference? Are they the same thing? Do I need both? Let's talk about that. Hi there, it's Kim with Berry Insurance. Employer's liability and workers' compensation. You may have heard these terms used together, maybe even interchangeably. In fact, these two coverages are often grouped together on the same policy, yet they serve different purposes. Here at Berry Insurance, we have provided these coverages to hundreds of commercial clients. We also tend to find ourselves having to explain the difference between the two coverages just as often. So in this video, you will learn what employer's liability insurance is, what workers' compensation is, what they cover, and if you need both coverages for your business. Let's jump in. What is workers' compensation insurance? Odds are you've heard of workers' compensation before, so let's start there. Workers' compensation insurance covers medical payments and a portion of lost wages for employees who become injured or ill due to work-related causes. For example, if an employee gets injured lifting something heavy or slipping and falling on a wet floor, medical expenses and some lost wages would be covered by workers' compensation. This also applies if an employee becomes ill from being exposed to harmful chemicals on the job. However, just like every other form of commercial insurance, workers' comp has a list of conditions and exclusions. Here's what is typically covered under workers' compensation. Injuries to all employees, regardless of hours worked. Medical expenses. Lost wages, up to a certain limit. Ongoing care expenses in the case of a long-term recovery or injury. Funeral expenses. Treatment for work-related illness. Repetitive injury care. Disability benefits, limited. Employer liability. What typically is not covered under workers' compensation insurance is small cuts, scrapes remedied by first aid kit, injuries sustained outside the scope of work, injuries to individuals that are not employees, incidents during out-of-state operations. This coverage can be an optional add-on. If you would like to learn more about the specifics of workers' compensation, check out this video. Or click the link in the description of this video to check out our articles on workers' compensation. What is employer's liability insurance? While similar to workers' compensation, employer's liability coverage is slightly different. Employer's liability is a coverage that protects employers from lawsuits from employees who feel their workers' compensation claims didn't provide enough coverage. Keep in mind that these types of claims must be specifically for work-related injuries or illness, which means this coverage would not apply to HR issues such as lawsuits related to discrimination, sexual harassment, wrongful termination, and other issues that fall under HR. For coverage against those issues, you would need employment practices liability insurance. If you are interested in learning more about EPLI, check out the article linked in the description of this video. When an employee experiences a work-related injury or illness, workers' comp comes in to cover the related medical expenses. However, if the employee feels the workers' compensation payout wasn't enough, they may decide to sue their employer. This is where employer's liability coverage kicks in. It will cover the expenses related to those employee lawsuits. Earlier in the video, we mentioned that employer's liability is actually covered by workers' compensation, which is true. It is often referred to as Part 2 of a workers' comp policy, with traditional workers' comp being Part 1. The following is specifically covered under employer's liability: court fees and settlements, lawsuits from employees with work-related injuries or illnesses, third-party lawsuits related to employees with work-related injuries, illness, or death. Some exclusion to employer's liability include small cuts, scrapes remedied by a first aid kit, injuries sustained outside the scope of work, injuries to individuals that are not your employees, injuries or illness related to criminal activity, employers who intentionally cause injury or illness. Do I need both employer's liability and workers' compensation? In Massachusetts, all employers are required to purchase workers' compensation for all employees, whether they are part-time, full-time, etc. So if you are an employer located in Massachusetts, then yes, you will need workers' compensation. But what about employer's liability coverage? Well, as mentioned earlier in the video, employer's liability is included within a workers' compensation policy. So the good news is you will automatically be covered under workers' compensation if you're hit with an employer's liability claim. So, no need to worry about it. As you can see, the two coverages are similar, so we understand it can get confusing. That is why having a great commercial insurance agent can help you navigate the complicated aspects of business insurance. Keeping your insurance agent in the loop and checking in with them will help them effectively manage your policy, which could save you thousands of dollars over time. If you have more questions about workers' compensation or other commercial insurance topics, check out our Learning Center on our website. We have tons of articles and videos on a variety of insurance topics. Thanks for watching today's video, and if you learned something, please consider subscribing to our channel and liking this video. We make videos like this every week to help people just like you with their insurance questions. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you in the next video.